It's not like a love for your puppy. It's not like the love for your partner. This is transcendent of that. This is the most familiar, unfamiliar feeling you will ever have. It'll be distant and at the same time very close. And you'll start to see the hidden meaning behind all things. And now, when you walk in the presence of your greatest betrayer, the person who threw you under the bus, whatever it is, when you walk in from this place, there will be no emotional reaction. You will just see that person for who they are, who you used to be. Now, compassion then is no longer something that you have to try to do. It's the end product of doing the work. And I think that mystics and saints and masters of old understood this. So when they thought of that person, they didn't allow that thought to produce a feeling or an energy that would lower their energy. They understood that when they had the thought of that person, they saw their limitation. It wasn't hurting them, it was only hurting themselves. Now, I think that if the world was doing that, wow, we'd have a very different world.
Yeah, I love that point. That's such a phenomenal point. Joe, you've been incredible. Really love this conversation. We end every On Purpose episode with a final 5. This is kind of like a quick fire, rapid fire round.
Right.
But before we dive into that, I just wanted to just take that point that you've just ended on there. I think that's the big one, right? Like what you've just said for me, that's the big one. It's the recognition that when you're assimilating a negative thought or a negative judgment or a negative emotion, envy, greed, whatever it may be, that's actually lowering your energy.
Yeah.
And when you get to that place where you're experiencing that incredible bliss right here, you can't. Yeah. And even if you have the thought, and the thought will still come because we still have those thoughts.
But the thought will be an understanding of human nature because you're no longer at that vibrational level any longer. You're rising above it, and I think more and more people are starting to figure that out. And the people in their lives are like, no, my husband is a changed person. No, he's not the same guy. I know him. I know he's completely different. Yeah. And the guy's just like, yeah, I feel amazing. I feel great. And all it was sitting in the fire for a little bit of time until the body finally moved out of the past into the present moment. And so the causes of this, like I always say, you never know what you're doing today and how you're doing it, who you're going to affect tomorrow when you do this work. And that's what we're seeing. And people are, they're getting promotions. They're getting all these wonderful things, not because of anything that they're doing. They're just different. Yeah. And people notice that, and they want those people in the position to make better decisions for the whole. And I think that's how we change the world. Absolutely. I love it. So here's your final 5, Joe. The first question is, what are the 3 things we should say when we wake up in the morning or think? Well, first, I would say, what is the greatest ideal of myself that I can be today? And I would not get up until I felt like that person. The second thing I would say is, can I begin to keep my energy up the entire day? And if I do it properly, then I will be open to opportunities and possibilities that weren't there before. The last thing I would say is, could I sustain brain and heart coherence to the point where that intelligence within me that's giving me life begins to find a door to open out so I can begin to see evidence in my world? I love that. Beautiful. Question 2, what would you say every evening before you go to sleep? Oh yeah, how did I do today? How did I do? How did I do today? I mean, one day, one lifetime. Yeah. How did I do today? Yeah. Did I change or help another human being? Did I really change someone's future, a future timeline? Lastly, what is the greatest thing I learned? I love that. Question number 3 of the final 5, 3 things to remove from our vocabulary. I can't is probably one of the biggest ones. I'll do it later, or I'll do it tomorrow, is also another big one. And it's too hard. Oh yeah, nice. I like those 3. Mine are, I switched saying I'm busy to being productive. That changed my life. Just recognizing the difference between what busy made me feel and what productive made me feel. And the other ones were in arguments, stopping saying you never and you always, because no one never does anything and no one always does something. And we say those all the time. Okay. Question number 4. What's your meditation practice like? Wow. I'm Well, I do a very advanced version of what my books are about, just because I'm always trying new things out for our community. But, my big thing really lately is the mystical. And I've just had one of the most transcendental experiences this particular weekend. So I go as deep as I possibly can into that fertile blackness. And I don't stop until I connect to something. And I know that feeling, what it is when I connect. And then I have a thought of whatever experience I want, and then I completely surrender to the outcome and stay open. And it's been working pretty well.
That's amazing. And question number 5, if you could give everyone in the world an experiment to do for 30 days, one activity that they'd have to do every day for 30 days, what would it be?
I would ask them to take out a piece of paper and write down every thought that they've been thinking that's standing in the way between their future and where they are. To write down every habit or behavior, even how they speak, that stops them from becoming the person that is healthy, wealthy, or free. And then to begin to recognize the emotions that keep them in the same state of being every single day, and become so conscious of those thoughts, behaviors, and emotions that they wouldn't let any of them slip by unnoticed by them. Then I would have them write down the thoughts they do want to fire and wire in their brain. I would have them write down what the behaviors look like of a great person that they wanted to become. And I would have them practice thinking about it and practice rehearsing it. And then I would say to them, what emotions would you feel when your future happened? Because you have to teach your body emotionally what that future feels like before it happens. And every day, if you practice that diligently and sincerely, and just become conscious of who you no longer want to be, and keep becoming conscious of who you do want to be, you should begin to see evidence in your life. And when it comes in a way that you least expect, that surprises you and leaves no doubt that it's come from a greater mind, then you'll be inspired to do it again. And now we believe we're more the creators of our lives and less of the victims of our lives.
I love that, Joe. That's amazing. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Incredible final 5. Great answers, great responses. Is there anywhere that you'd like to help my audience learn to find more about you? Any particular book right now? Any of the events that are coming up? I know you said they're all booked up in advance anyway, but that's anywhere that they can go to find out more about your work? And
I think you can go to the website, drjoedispenza.com. It's just drjoe dispenza.com. And then, if you're interested in doing like a week-long event, that's where the magic happens. Miracles of biblical proportion lately, in fact. There's a progressive workshop that's a preparation. It's an online progressive, and it's like a 9-week course. You can do it in a weekend if you want. But that is kind of the basics for people to get introduced to the work, and then they'll be ready for a week-long. And again, the week-longs, we try to do one a month in different parts of the world.
Amazing.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, thank you so much for coming
You're
on the show.
welcome, bro.
I really appreciate you. And everyone who's been listening or watching back at home, in the car, if you're traveling, wherever you are, I hope that you take a moment to listen to this one again. There were so many great insights that I highly recommend doing. And there were so many practical activities as well. So just taking a bit of time out. Remember, it's not that it doesn't work. It could be that we're not working. So just putting in that much more effort instead of the excuses, and using that energy wisely to just take a bit of time to go through these activities could be a huge step forward for you. I hope you're going to try them out. I'm sure Dr. Joe Dispenza is happy that you're going to try them out as well. Thank you so much for being part of this community. Anything that he said or we said in this session that resonated, make sure you share it on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. I love looking out for what's resonating with you, what's connecting with you, and I try to share as many of them as I can as well. Thank you so much for listening and watching. Lots of love. Hey everyone, my name's Jay Shetty and welcome to my YouTube channel. Every week I'm sharing 3 videos that are going to help you feel more fulfilled, feel more happy, and more successful. Make sure you subscribe to this channel so that you can find out about the videos as soon as they launch. Press the like button and leave a comment, and let's keep making wisdom go viral together. Make sure you subscribe.